Human Reproduction and Gametogenesis Part 2. Today, we are going to focus our attention to the human reproductive organs, especially the male reproductive system. As you can see on this diagram, the male reproductive system comprises so many parts, which are grouped into two main categories. There are external organs and internal organs. External organs are the penis, one penis, and two testes or two testicles, which are enveloped into a special sac known as scrotum. Internal organs are special sacs and tubules or small tubes. The sacs are two seminal vesicles, two bulbourethral glands, and one prostate. The tubules are the vas deferens or sperm duct, ejaculatory duct, and urethra. The following diagram shows many of important parts of the male reproductive system, such as two testicles, two seminal vesicles, two bulbourethral glands or corpus glands, two sperm ducts, one urethra, and one prostate. Let us now begin with external organs. Testes, for instance. Testes are the male gonads that consist of many coiled tubes surrounded by several layers of connective tissue. These tubes are the seminiferous tubules where sperm form. You should remember that testicles or testes assume a double function. They are used as gonads for the production of sperm cells or spermatozoa. That's the process of spermatogenesis. They are also used as endocrine glands. They are used for the production of male hormones such as testosterone and other androgens. The Leydig cells scattered between the seminiferous tubules produce testosterone and other androgens. We should here underline that cells that undergo meiosis to lead to the formation of sperm cells are located within seminiferous tubules, while the Leydig cells outside seminiferous tubules or even between seminiferous tubules, they are going to assume the production of male hormones such as testosterone and other androgens. Here we should remember that testosterone plays a key role in the development of male reproductive organs such as testicles themselves and the prostate, as well as promoting secondary sexual characteristics. For most mammals, sperm production occurs properly only when the testes are cooler than the normal body temperature. In humans and many other mammals, the scrotum, a foot of the body wall, maintains a testis temperature about 2 degrees Celsius below that in the abdominal cavity. So the scrotum plays a very important role in spermatogenesis too, because it balances or assumes the equilibrium of temperature where testicles are located, in order to allow them accomplish conveniently their activities. So when the temperature is not suitable, testicles may fail to produce both hormones and sperm cells, which can lead to sterility in men. The testes develop high in the abdominal cavity and descend into the scrotum just before birth. some mammals whose body temperature is low enough to allow sperm maturation, example monotremes, whales, and elephants, retain their testes within the abdominal cavity at all times. In addition, in many rodents, the testes are drawn back into the abdominal cavity between breeding seasons, interrupting sperm maturation. Here we should remember that in order to allow the regulation of temperature needed by testes to perform their activities, testes should be located outside the body. If they remain in the abdominal cavity, sterility may occur. But here we are provided with many exceptions. The penis, as another external organ, contains the urethra as well as the 3 cylinders of spongy erectile tissue. The urethra is a thin tube that begins at the lower opening of the bladder and extends through the penis to the outside of the body. Note that in male, the urethra assumes both the urination or maturation, or the discharge of urine, and the discharge of semen or ejaculation. The erectile tissue, that is a tissue in the penis capable of stiffening by engorging with blood, and the whole process is known as erection. The main shaft of the penis is covered by a relatively thick skin, and the head or glans of the penis has a much thinner covering and is consequently more sensitive to stimulation. The human glans is covered by a fold of skin called the prepuce or foreskin, which may be removed by circumcision. During sexual arousal or erection, the erectile tissue fills with blood from the arteries. As this tissue fills, the increasing pressure seals off the veins and drain the penis, causing it to engorge with blood. Glans, as the rounded part forming the end of the penis or clitoris, is also known as the head of the penis or the head of the clitoris. This part is highly rich in nerve endings, the reason why it is very sensitive. In uncircumcised men, the gland is covered with a skin known as a prepuce or foreskin for protection against mechanical and chemical shocks. Paradoxically, it has to be removed during what we call circumcision, especially for various health reasons. For the erection of the penis, there is a direct participation of the nervous system, explaining why different forms of stress or psychological troubles may lead to erectile dysfunction or impotence, to mean the inability to get and keep an erection enough for having sex. This diagram shows the structure of an erectile tissue with 2 corpora cavernosa, 1 corpus spongiosum, and blood vessels. Here, the corpora cavernosa and corpus spongiosum must be filled with blood in order to make the penis larger and stiffer. The presence of blood vessels is highly important because for the erection to take place, there should be the vasoconstriction of veins and the vasodilation of arteries, and consequently blood flows into the penis without being drained back or out, leading to enlarging and stiffening of the whole penis to lead to erection. I should note that the erection enables the penis to be inserted into the vagina, what we call intromission. So the penis is also known as an intromittent organ. The alcohol consumption, certain drugs, emotional issues, and aging all can cause a temporary inability to achieve an erection, what we call erectile dysfunction. Also, very important to know is that the penis of some mammals, example rodents and the others, contains a bone known as the baculum, which contributes to stiffen the penis for mating. After that, we have discussed about external organs of the male reproductive system, which are the penis and the testicles. Let us now talk about some internal organs, and we begin with the ducts. From the seminiferous tubules of a testis, the sperm cells pass into the coiled tubules of the epididymis. Should note that during their passage, the sperm cells in each epididymis complete their maturation and become motile. And during ejaculation, the sperm cells are propelled from each epididymis through a muscular duct known as the vas deferens or a spermiduct. Remember that seminiferous tubules are long tubes located within testes or testicles, where meiosis takes place for the production of male gametes or sperm cells. Each testicle has an epididymis at its upper part, shown as a long and supercoiled tube that stores sperm cells and transports them from within testicles. The main role of epididymis is to assume the maturation of sperm cells, especially by increasing their capacity of swimming, and exactly after their production in seminiferous tubules. Vas deferens or spermiduct is a long tube that travels from the epididymis into the pelvic cavity, and this is the cavity between pelvic bones, in order to transport mature sperm cells to the urethra for ejaculation. Each vas deferens, one from each epididymis, extends around and behind the urinary bladder, where it joins a duct from the seminal vesicle, forming a short ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory ducts open into the urethra, which runs through the penis and opens to the outside at the tip. Note that the urethra is the outlet tube for both the excretory system and the reproductive system, as it assumes ejaculation, the discharge of semen, and maturation or urination. Seminal vesicles or seminal glands function to produce many of the constituent ingredients of semen, for instance, proteins, lipids, vitamins, sugars, etc. And around 70% of the total volume of semen is produced in seminal vesicles. Ejaculatory ducts deliver sperm cells into the urethra, adding secretions from the prostate necessary for sperm function. In addition to ducts, let us talk now about glands as other internal organs of the male reproductive system. Three sets of glands, the seminal vesicles, the prostate gland, and the bulbourethral glands or corpus glands, produce secretions that combine with the sperm to form semen, the fluid that is ejaculated. Seminal vesicles have been discussed above. Now let us talk about the prostate gland and bulbourethral glands. The most important function of the prostate is the production of a fluid that, together with the sperm cells and the fluids from other glands, makes up semen. The prostate muscles can also contract to forcefully press semen into urethra and then expel it outside for ejaculation. The bulbourethral glands or corpus glands, they function to lubricate the urethra for the passage of semen during ejaculation. Due to the alkaline pH of the excreted fluid, bulbourethral glands also act to neutralize residual acidic urine that remains in the urethra, and this is very important because it assumes the protection of sperm cells against that acidity left behind by urine. But here you should note that the bulbourethral fluid carries some sperm cells released before ejaculation, which is one reason for the high failure of the withdrawal method of birth control, known also as the coitus interruptus. That's the end of our lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much. See you next time.